Welcome to another edition of the Cooker's Corner here at this Twisted Wrestling Studios. Look, I got flabbergasted already because I am here with a man who I respect as much as anybody I've ever known, and someone who's always showed me respect. The man signed with the WWE. He's wrestled for ECW many years in Japan, and he continues at the age he is now. And he's not an old man. I'm simply pointing it out that he continues to travel the world on a weekly basis. Mr. Pablo Marquez, I appreciate you being here. And we're going to do a toast because, hey, any excuse to drink a Mountain Dew, do it. I always ask the same question, but were you a wrestling fan growing up?
My whole life, since I can remember, watching Ray Stevens, the Crippler, Bob Backlund in the early, late 70s, early 80s is my first recollection of pro wrestling. Always been a fan.
That always translates. When you're a fan, you always tend to have more of a passion for it than someone who just got in the business, or someone who was at a gym working out and they just say, hey, you got big muscle, you want to be a wrestler? And then they can develop the love for wrestling. But if you're a fan, like a Ric Flair grew up a fan, Shawn Michaels grew up a fan, I grew up a fan. They were successful, I wasn't. But you were successful and you continue to be successful.
Yeah, well, I never really actually thought about becoming a pro wrestler. I actually kind of late at the age of 19.
Well, you just shot my whole angle. No, I'm just kidding.
I started a little late compared to people when I started the Monster Factory with Larry Sharp. I've met guys like Chris Candido. I started at 15, so I always thought I started a little late. But yeah, always been a wrestling fan and decided to pursue my dreams at the age of 19.
That's what I was going to ask you. What I was going to ask you. Who you were trained by? Larry Sharp?
I was trained by in the world famous Monster Factory by Pretty Boy Larry Sharp.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how I got started.
I only met Larry once, and that's when he went to a Legends lunch with us. And he had some amazing stories. I mean, wrestling Andre the Giant, Madison Square Garden. Super nice guy. It's too bad he's no longer here. But, because he only lived right down the road. But that's awesome. The Monster Factory is as famous as any wrestling school ever. Yes. Made it on PM, the old show PM News or something it was called?
Yeah, and I've always said, and I've said this before, I've always felt that my greatest accomplishment in wrestling was having Larry Sharp, come to my school and meet my students when I was, having it going. And to me, that was my greatest accomplishment ever in pro wrestling.
Well, that's right, because you're showing him what he taught you to them, and he's coming to see him that what he taught you resonated to you, which you've been able to pass on to them. Does that make any sense? It makes sense to me. A lot of things they say make sense to me, and people are bewildered with what.
And I'm sure the great Malenko is looking down on you now, Bob, and proud of you as well for what we have here at the Twisted Wrestling Alliance in Englewood, Florida.
I've always, I don't know what you can call it in the wrestling terms, put the great Malenko over, and I don't do it just to put him over. I do it because he deserves it. Just as most guys' trainers mean everything to them if they're a good trainer to me. Everybody who knew Malenko and trained by Malenko, he's like a father figure to all of us. And I'm sure Larry was that way to you.
Yes, sir.
Did you go to his funeral?
I did. I've always, throughout the years, and only recently, I've been asked to do many podcast interviews. I've always thought I wasn't a well-spoken guy, but I actually spoke on Larry's eulogy. So yeah, so that's another.
Yeah, I went to Malenko's funeral, but I didn't. I wasn't in no condition to speak. I sat there with Penelope Paradise and basically cried the whole time. But
yeah, and I don't know how I had the courage to actually speak, but I was one of the guys that actually spoke.
But you're a man who actually got signed by the WWE.
And it's funny.
Before it was the WWE.
Right.
That doesn't mean to date you, but, you're not that young.
And it's funny. The way I got signed, they happened to be having a TV taping in Connecticut, and a friend of mine named Victor Quinones, I've even heard of him, Miguel Perez, Sabio Vega, they said, hey, we're going to be in, they were already signed. They said, hey, come on down to Connecticut, come meet the guys. And I went, and they saw me there, asked me if I wanted to participate in something. I did it, and I got signed. Wow. Just the right place at the right time. I like to tell people that my experience got me there, but the reality was I was just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I wrestled Savio once in the WWF, and he was doing a move on me I didn't even know, but we demonstrated it to me in the dressing room, and we did it good. But I was the guy was phenomenal.
He's still active, and don't be surprised when one day you see him here in Twisted Wrestling Alliance.
Oh, wait, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine, and we go way back. And
speaking of Twisted Wrestling Alliance, though, March 15th, we got a show coming up. Get your tickets. Contact Joseph Saraceno, the man who put all this together. You and I are teaming up for the first time now. Again, you've always showed me the utmost respect for whatever reason. that's on you, not on me. And I appreciate it. And now we're teaming up against Golden Boy Jimmy McDowell and Johnny Walker. And the only Johnny Walker I really know was a guy that had a mask on called Mr. Wrestling too. But we'll give the guy a pass. But we're teaming up for the first time. And Mike McCluskey's going to be there, and he's going to announce us as the victors.
That's right. Bob, for me, and I've said it many times, it's an honor for me to be in the same ring with you. I've looked up to you my whole career. I've known about you, and for me, it's going to be...
Why don't you call my ex-wife and tell her I'm actually a good guy? Oh, wait.
Yeah. But Bob, for me, it's an honor, and I look forward to it. March 15 here at the Twisted Wrestling Alliance studio. It's going to be a great show. I get to cross something off my bucket list, and it's going to be an event not to be missed.
Yeah, not to discount us, but the main event is the Cuban Assassin against Chief Eddie Two Rivers, or as the Colonel would say, Eddie Chief Rivers, something like that. But that's the main event. But we're going to be there. In our mind, we're the main event because our match is important to us. What everybody else does is their business. Our business is that match. And I think we're going to win. Even though the Colonel's going to be in their corner, we got Delicious D in ours, and she's a nice lady, but she has a devious side that most people don't know about.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it many times.
And Jim McDowell, Johnny Walker, I said this before, you guys want to be where we've been. And on March 15, we're going to be victorious, Bob.
That's right.
That's a guarantee.
Well, like I say, they're going to be where I was a lot of times in my career, and that's looking at the lights. But we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them. We're going to show them. We're going to have, I don't know who the referee's going to be, probably Frankie Reyes, his kid Adam, and I don't trust him. I don't trust Frankie. Maybe we should get a special referee. Maybe Python Pete. I'm going to request. I'm going to put it with the commissioner that Python Pete is our referee.
That's a great thought. That's great.
Because I don't know, everybody can be bought. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
I don't know, but I want to thank you for being here. You know, you came up early. You've been here for a couple days.
Yes.
We worked out of the gym.
That's right.
Busted our butts at the gym, even though the guy, the only guy that was there looking at us like we're idiots because we were shooting video. But we appreciate you coming all the way up here.
It's my
spending the time with us, buying us breakfast. It was awesome.
What can I say, Bob? I love you. I love Joe, and it's for me, it's an honor to be here, and I look forward to coming again.
And we want you to come again because if we can humiliate those two guys, who can we humiliate beyond them?
Yes.
So what a tag team! Yeah, I even heard these guys, the Galupo brothers. You know, we're sponsored by the Loman Law Group.
That's right.
I'd like to take you tell me the name of those guys.
Oh, the Guadalupe brothers are actually two brothers that I personally trained. I saw them take their first bump, so they're going to be here, and they always put on a great performance. And keep an eye on them because they're very exciting young men.
But I was just saying, if we can humiliate these guys, we're going to do. We can humiliate. I can't even say the word humiliate. I'm humiliating myself, but not be able to say humiliate. We could take those guys on and humiliate them, and they might need the Loman Law Group.
That's right. That's right.
For the injuries that we incur.
That's right.
From them to them. I can't even speak. I've been up all night.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited. We look forward to March 15.
I am looking forward to it, and I appreciate you coming again. I appreciate the respect.
Thank you, Bob.
And we're going to take the Colonel. You know, I saw he has some kind of special headgear. He should have been having that since he was a kid. And what do they have? Those people that have that big hole in their head that never heals. I don't know. What do they call that? But they broke the kid over from that time, Dax or Axe or whatever they call the guy. I don't even know who he is. They don't have to get the show anymore. But it's not going to be payday for Colonel. It's going to be payday for Pablo and I.
That's right.
Next time on the Cooker's Corner, if you took the time to watch this, we appreciate it. Bye.